Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brian and George, and today actually we're doing something a little bit different. Not really giving a product demo or switching over to another camera. We actually just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about, it's the end of the year, it's the end of 2019, and that's a good time for reflecting back. And we were just sort of talking earlier in the office about all the kind of cool things that have happened with SME. So, first and foremost, just thinking back about all the customers that new customers that we worked with and returning customers, all that. We've had several more team members, so SME is growing sort of by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, so, and I think another thing, we're getting to see a lot more of those team members right here on the videos. We started this video project earlier this year, and I think it's been going really well. Really having a good time every time we step in the booth, so that's been awesome.
Yeah, this booth is new, right?
Yeah.
So, what you guys aren't seeing is obviously the green screen behind us, and maybe we've shown a couple background, I think, with the light falling on you, right?
Yeah.
Which, that was George's idea, and I think it was a good move.
Well, it wasn't my idea for the light to fall on me.
Right, yeah, that was my idea, no. But yeah, a little behind the scenes, and maybe I'll just cut that in real quick on this video so you guys can see how we're really standing here. But yeah, we're basically in a converted room at SME headquarters in Tampa, and yeah, this didn't even exist a year ago, which is pretty amazing, and it wasn't even in this fashion, so the videos have been really cool for sure.
It's been good.
Also, like you were talking about meeting other team members, this year, as we do most years, we got a chance to have everybody come together. So all of us could be in one room, and I think that's always really, really impressive because the other people that are working with SME, and we add new people as new customers and new projects come on. We're always growing, but to see all of us in one room and see everybody sort of focusing on the same, goal in mind of what we're doing with customers and hear everybody's passion I thought that was actually really cool.
Definitely. So speaking to that, another thing about kind of getting together, one thing that kind of brought us all closer together this year was the Small Business of the Year awards from the Chamber of Commerce. Right. I know that we placed in the top 5, and that was an extreme honor. And not only just being able to kind of bringing us closer together in the office, but also to meeting leaders in the community, seeing what other small businesses are doing and making waves in that Tampa Bay area. So that was phenomenal experience.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And what I'll say is like how much went into that. I don't know if anybody out there knows, but it started with over 400 companies, I think. You have to be nominated. It started with 400 companies. We ended up being in the top 5, like George said, we're super proud of. But a lot of time and effort into it, and we all of us walked away thinking like, wow, that totally made us better as a team. And as a company and stuff. And like you said, we got to meet a lot of people too.
Yeah.
So what else would go on this week?
We had a lot of partner events that we kind of either hosted or went to. So we did the Click Analytics tour right here in Tampa at Topgolf. Yeah, that was a great time. And
it was.
We actually hosted the first ever ThoughtSpot Tampa users group. And it was the first users group in the country ever. So that was also great. And then I went to Texas and did a little road show for MemSQL.
That's right.
In Austin and Houston. So that was a great time. And that's another thing. We talk about meeting the team, but you also get to meet the partners that we work with, people that I email back and forth, and now just getting to see them say hi face to face. It's always a great time.
Yeah, and speaking about partners, 2 of the bigger conferences this year, as they typically are, were Click Connections, which is now called Click World, right? So it's changing names next year, which kind of I think makes sense, right? Because Click has expanded their ecosystem so big now that it kind of makes sense that it's sort of I like the new name. Plus Connections was always really hard to say with the Q on it, and also ThoughtSpots Beyond, which was a little later in the year in 2019. Both amazing conferences, both really good times at both of them. We met a ton of people, learned a ton. You always come back so energized from those kind of conferences where you can just see everybody really, both companies genuinely working towards helping the customer and solving those pain points. And I just love that because everybody's going towards the same ultimate goal, which is, increased ROI, decreased time to value, those kind of things, and figuring out how to use data to do that. So what else did we have going on?
So, we talked about those conferences. We also had a bunch of smaller conferences or just some more unique conferences. So we did the Synapse Summit and Digital Orlando in the area. But I also did UAI, Utility Analytics Week, in Phoenix, as well as PortCon, which is a
went out to that as well.
And,
that was a good one.
Port Canaveral. So those were all great events. it's always great to network, get to meet new people,
Yeah.
show what we're doing, learn what they're doing. So
Yeah.
it's always good to kind of get out of Florida.
Yeah, for sure. Well, but speaking of Florida, and even more specifically Tampa, do you want to talk a little bit about it? Made me think of USF and the work we did with them.
Yeah, so I think we did 1 or 2 boot camps with the USF students, and that's always great because you get to show students who have probably seen a BI tools, so what we're doing out there with the BI tools, that real world experience, as well as getting some hands-on development in some of those cases, because it's always good to kind of like get that hands-on experience while you learn. It helps you retain that information. And I mean, it helped us out. We got Laura, the intern, she was actually at that first boot camp.
Speaking of new members and everything,
so she was at that boot camp and she's been doing great. So it's always good to kind of just support your local schools, your communities, and all that.
Yeah, which kind of brings us up to the one big thing we want to talk about is the formation of SME Foundation, which is something that's near and dear to all our hearts here at SME, and getting the chance to work with some really, really amazing charities. I mean, I'm sure you could throw some in here too, but I mean, we worked with Metropolitan Ministries here, which is a phenomenal charity. Please check them out. Meals on Wheels, which we work with all the time. Think Big for Kids, which is another great charity. Girls Plus Data, which is something I volunteer for, but SME and SME Foundation has also supported along the way, which is pretty big. I hope I'm not missing more. I know there's more in there.
There's more, but I mean, it's just great. I mean, and I know that we're like going out to volunteer at Metropolitan Ministries next week, but it's always good to be involved in your community, and I think that the work that we're doing is great. It's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure, and I think it says a lot. I'll just say I think it says a lot about SME and the type of work culture we have here, which is phenomenal. It's the one thing that more and more people walk in the door and they go, the work culture here is a lot. What drew us a lot in the door, and what keeps us here too, because it's so great to work with people like yourself. So going into 2020, what any predictions? Anything you want to throw out now? You want to put stamp down anything? I mean,
I think that what we did this year was awesome, and I can't wait to do twice as much as that next year.
Yeah, for sure.
We got a lot of surprises when it comes to videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
We're working with our partners to build out these solutions, and also really to kind of put ourselves in the position that we are basically a stronghold in the BI world. So I hope you're excited. I'm excited.
I'm definitely excited. Like you said, we have, especially from the video, which is what I'm more focused on as a digital strategist here at SME. We have a lot coming, and like you said, some really cool surprises that we don't want to give away yet. But expect to see more video, more content. Definitely, if you're not already, follow us on LinkedIn. You don't want to miss the things that we're posting, and I typically will start there just because I love the LinkedIn community. But that doesn't mean we also have stuff going out, same videos going out on YouTube as well. So that's a great way. We're also active on Twitter. So definitely make sure if you're on those different social media channels, make sure you go reach out and find SME so you can see all the new stuff we have coming up. Definitely towards the end, we have about 5 or 6 videos going out before the end of this year. So definitely for this year, but definitely in 2020, because like George said, we're about to take it to the next level, I think.
Yep.
So awesome. All right. Well, if we don't see you before, then Happy New Year to everybody, and have a wonderful holiday. And we hope you guys have had as productive as 2019 as we have, and we can't wait to work with all of y'all going into 2020. Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.